Jets, 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 Jets. You were the leader of that chant, and I hope things are
In a
getting
long
better.
time.
Yeah,
I agree. Well, listen, this has been a rough decade,
yep.
to say the least.
Yep. I'm now currently 21. The last time I've seen them in the playoffs when I was 10 years old, going on to 11, and I'm about to graduate college in 2 months and still haven't seen my Jets in the playoffs since 2010.
Now, you know what's funny is our last home playoff game was 2002. Think about that.
That's crazy.
I mean, that's the last time we were home, and we beat the Colts 41-0. We beat Peyton Manning 41-0. So anytime we've been home, which has only been twice, we were home in '98, and the last time before that, I think we were home in '91. It was '91, and we lost. We lost to the Patriots, I think, at home in '91. That's it. There's been no. I always said that if we could get home field throughout the playoffs, nobody could beat us.
Yeah,
it would happen because the stadium is so electric, and that Jet chant is so powerful.
Yep.
Especially in times like that, because what people fail to realize is the hardcore fan doesn't understand, because the Jet fan, we just don't have a lot to celebrate.
Yeah.
So when we do get those times, and they've been few and far between, they don't understand that if they came in there, it's not going to be like it's nothing like they've ever experienced. You know, Peyton Manning would be the first one to tell you that, because we just had that place was insane. When I tell you, it was so crazy in 2002, and they were a powerhouse.
Yeah.
And they came in and we destroyed them. I mean, we destroyed them. He was so pissed, Max. He was so pissed. I remember running down. It was the old Giant Stadium, so I remember running across, because the fans would let me go across the first row. They would get out of my way, and I would go across. So I was on the 20 on the one side, and they started the drive on the other 20. So I was a lunatic. I said, I got to get down there. So the fans actually made way for me to run down there. I ran down there, and we had the place, I was rolling, and the place was just sick. It got so loud that he looked over. No, this is no nonsense. He looked over at me and went, "Fucking motherfucker." He goes, you can see it. I'm not kidding you. He looked.
I know you're not.
He goes, "Fucking fireman." And I and this was before, you had the cameras and all that shit. That would have been all over the place. So, it was a different era. It was a different time in life. So.
And speaking of years, I mean, 2015, I thought if they made the playoffs that year, they beat the Bills, they could have gone on the run.
Yeah, they could have. We had a nice team with Fitz and Marshall and all. Yeah. It would have been a nice run. Listen, I think what's his face should have made that catch down the sideline. Who dropped that ball? Fitzpatrick threw a dime, and the guy dropped the ball.
Yeah.
What was his name? I forget.
I think it was the tight end. Wasn't it the tight end?
No, it was a wide receiver.
It was a wide receiver.
It was a backup wide receiver. I can't think of his name.
Was it Kembrell Tompkins?
I think it was.
It was Kembrell Tompkins.
I think it was. And, he's got to make that catch. He makes that catch. He goes down the sideline. Nobody gets him. Yeah. So, but it is what it is. So,
it's difficult.
So what is this St. John's Radio?
Yep, St. John's Radio. And you're from the area, so you know St. John's well.
You know what? It's funny because you say that, I grew up in College Point.
Yeah.
So
and a Miami Dolphin fan.
I was what's that?
And a Dolphin fan originally.
Well, yeah, originally I was a Dolphin fan. It was funny, that story. That's a great one. I mean, I love it. Joe Benigno always broke my balls, and I'm like, this guy's he's clueless. Yeah. What happened was my father was a baseball fan. So growing up, I didn't have any allegiance to football at all.
Yeah.
so when you're young, man, you go with the best teams. So the best teams were the Cowboys, the Dolphins, the Steelers, the Raiders. You're talking about in the 70s. It was in 70. It was 72, 73, 74. I was 12, 13, 14. And so my father was a baseball fan and nothing with football. So the teams that were on TV, those were the teams that were on TV. And so you tend to go that way. So anyway, I like Paul Warfield. He was a number 42. That's what I wear, 42.
Yeah.
And when I played football, that's what I wore. And who knew that years later, what happened was my brother Frankie's 7 years older than me. Mm-hmm. And he was 22 years old. And he got season tickets for the Jets. And he says to me, "Come on, you want to go to Jet game?" I'm 14, I think. I was 14 going on 15. Mm-hmm. And I said, "I don't go see the Jets." And he goes, "Come on, you'll have fun." So we were at Shea, I was playing in College Point. I was playing football. Yeah. And he says, come to the game. He says, we tailgate underneath the Grand Central Parkway. He says, come after the game. Mm-hmm. So I dropped my equipment off to my father. My father's watching the game. I give him my equipment and I run down College Point Boulevard over the Flushing Bay Bridge and I go to the tailgate. So I go to the tailgate and my brother goes to me, gives me a shot of Irish Mist. And he goes, "Yeah, it's a shot." So I said, "The shot." I drink. He goes, "You like that?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "You want another one?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Don't tell Mom." I said, "I won't." So after the game, obviously, we're at the game and I had a ball, obviously. Yeah. And he goes, "You want to come back?" I said, "Yeah." And then that was it. It just started. I started, it was the Jets. It was Shea Stadium. It was the wind. It was crazy. And, as you're a kid, you start to realize that you look up to your big brother. Yep. And that's how I got involved with the Jets. Yeah. And, who knew years later that Fireman Ed would be, the only reason they ever knew I was a Dolphin fan, it's the best, because this is when you get a little notoriety. This is how people are so fucked up. All right. My freshman year in high school, I had a Miami Dolphins sweatshirt on. Uh-huh. All right. In one of the class pictures. Mm-hmm. All right. Playing ball. And evidently, one of the guys that I went to high school with years later must have seen it and says, "Hey, he was a Dolphin fan," So I have to explain this to him. So when I talk to Benigno, he goes, "How the fuck is that possible? How is that possible?" I says, "Now, this is where your argument you really look stupid when you say that I was a Dolphin fan and now became a Jet fan." Yeah. I says, "It would be good if you said this. And I went to the Steelers and I became a Steeler fan and they won 4, 5, 6 Super Bowls." I said, "I became a Jet fan. Yeah. You should give me a fucking medal, you idiot." I said, "What did I jump on the bandwagon? What bandwagon? We haven't won anything ever." I said, "I wasn't a fan when we won the world championship. I wasn't a Jet fan. Yeah. I wasn't a football fan, period. It was 69. I was 9 years old. I was a baseball fan. I loved the Mets." Yeah. And so I says to him, I says, that argument would be great if it had any credence, but there is no credence to it. Nope. I said, because a kid will always, and I'm not the first, I won't be the last. The kid will always go to a winner. That's at right. the time, and then eventually they make up their own mind as they get older and they decide if that's what they want to do or they stay with that team. But that's my story. That's the way it is. So, but who knew years later I would be Fireman Ed? I had no idea that was going to happen. So I had to answer that question numerous times. I still hear guys go, "He was a Dolphin fan." Yeah. I says, look, do your homework, and then you'll find out why I was a Dolphin fan. Yeah. So. It is what it is.
And there you have it there. And I can relate because I grew up a Yankee fan and eventually I switched to being a Mets fan when I started attending St. John's, because when you're in Queens, you start going to more Mets games, and that's where you have it today, is why I'm a Mets fan. And the Jets, how do you feel about this offseason right now with the free agent signings? Because a lot of the problems, they stem from Joe Douglas, in my opinion, in the recent years, because he didn't provide Sam with the weapons. And this free agency, he really hasn't covered the corner position. and the offensive line, which is a big problem for me.
Well, you got to understand that everything is, you start with the owner, and what happens is Woody was in England, and Chris took over, and he did the best he could. Listen, I just want to let you know that I believe that they want to win. The owners, I believe they really truly want to win. They just don't know how, and they haven't surrounded themselves with the right people. Okay. So they started listening to a lot of different avenues. You understand that when you don't have that strong base, it takes time. All right. Anyway, I can't play Joe Douglas at this point, because the first year that he came out of nowhere and in the middle of the storm, basically. They fired McCagnon. He did the draft. He did the free agency. I mean, you just don't do things like that. So that first year didn't make any sense. So now you go up to last year. Now he assumes, listen, first off, let me just clarify that I not only liked Gase, I liked McCagnon. Okay. And obviously, those two things did not work out. So I questioned myself. I always felt I have a pretty good football acumen, but I question myself at this point because of, especially Gase, because I listened to Peyton Manning when he said that Gase would be good, because I figured an offensive coach, because of Bowles, that Gase would come in and really give Sam a real good opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So that was where I was fighting the fan base on Gase, because of Sam. I wanted, and I really did think that he would help Sam. He ultimately destroyed Sam. I mean,
pretty much.
I don't think Sam's destroyed, but anyway, the jury is out on Douglas right now. It's way too early. I mean, right now is where you're going to get where he's at right now. Now you're going to find out. Now you're getting the bread and butter right now. Now, with that being said, I don't for the life of me understand how they could move on from Darnold right now. I don't understand it. I don't understand how you just are, giving him any chance to get some weapons. They finally got weapons now. And I mean, they finally look like they're gonna make some moves and this kid could. You're gonna tell me that Zach Wilson, all of a sudden, Zach Wilson's the guy? We didn't hear about Zach Wilson last year.
No.
It's not like we heard about him and said, oh, this guy's up and coming, like Trevor Lawrence was. And that we never heard anything about Zach Wilson.
No.
All of a sudden, what scares me is that Zach Wilson's the flavor of the month. And it scares me now. Hey, I hope I'm wrong. That's why Joe Douglas and these guys get paid this. I mean, just for me telling you just before listen, I wanted Gase. I look like an idiot. I thought McCagnon was going to do well for us. When you look at his drafts, he destroyed us. And we're still reeling from McCagnon, basically. Gase jumped on the pile to completely destroy him. I mean, I thought my buddy, my brother-in-law is a Dolphin fan. He told me when we got Gase, he goes, it's a bad move, man. He's gonna destroy the team. And I said, really? I said, Peyton Manning's, I said, and I actually thought when Gase coached against us, he used to kick the shit out of us.
When he was in Miami.
Look back on those films and look at those teams, the Dolphin teams, and how prepared they were. Their line of scrimmage, they beat the shit out of you on a line of scrimmage. I remember opening day, week 2, whatever it was 5 years ago. We had just won. We won a big game on the road, and we came home for our second game. It was a home opener. It was either 3 years ago or 4 years ago. The Dolphins beat the shit out of us that day. I went out of the stadium. I went, oh my God. I said, they fucking killed us. Our line of scrimmage, we got destroyed on the line of scrimmage. And I actually said that to Gase when I met him, because I met him as soon as he got the job, I met him. I wound up meeting him in mini camp. He wanted to meet me, actually. That's what happened. And so I went out there and I met him, and he got me fired up, and I thought that he was to do well. And it was a disaster from the moment his press conference right on through. It seemed to get worse and worse.
Yep.
So,
Coach Light 2.0.
I don't know what's going to happen right now. I mean, I do like the moves that he's made so far. I understand why he wouldn't address the offensive line, because this draft is loaded with offensive linemen, loaded with them. I mean, there's so many of them.
Yep.
And remember, he paid George Fant. Fant played. I think Mackay got all the press.
Yeah,
Fant had a good year.
He
Fant
did.
had a good year over on the right.
Yep.
And so your tackles are set as far as I'm concerned.
Yep. McGovern, they think, is the issue, but they may move him over. You
might see them draft the center.
Yep.
Happen in the second pick of the first round, or the second round, the first pick. I mean, that could happen.
It's looking like a lock that Zach Wilson's coming here from the media everywhere, that they're going to be picking this kid second.
I'm, you know what, Max, honestly, what I waited to hear Boomer today, because Boomer was off.
Mm-hmm.
And I love Boomer.
Yeah.
I love Boomer. I've been on the show when it was him and Craig. And
that's going back. Yeah.
And I can just tell you that when Boomer talks, it's happening. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that he was given like little, because Gio was saying when he was off that day, he was saying, when Boomer goes, well, I think, this could have, yeah. He says today, they're going to take Zach Wilson, because they're going to take Zach Wilson. I am absolutely blown away that they're taking Zach Wilson in that second spot. When you have Sam Darnold, you're going to tell me that this Zach Wilson is better than Sam Darnold? I mean, I just find that hard. I guess we're going to find out, right? I mean, to me, I honestly thought, you know what I thought they were going to do?
What did you think they were going to do?
I thought that they were going to trade down I thought that Atlanta was going to try to get a quarterback, because Matt Ryan's getting up there. And I was thinking Atlanta would be the perfect spot. Mm. And who I would take with that pick, that pitch from
the tight end. That's exactly, that would be my first pick. Exactly.
Bro, what he would do for that offense, that kid with the receivers we have now.
Yep.
I mean, I can't believe when they say Jameson Crowder, they go, they may get rid of Crowder. I said, why would they get rid of Crowder?
Yeah,
Crowder was one of the few things we had that was really
decent
good
and something to cheer for.
I mean, he's a solid player, man.
Yep, great slot receiver.
He just does his thing. Plays hurt. Yep. He's a tough guy. Jameson Crowder's a tough guy. And, they got Mims. Mims, just got nicked up early on, but you could see that he can be a stud. You can see that. It's not hard. Now they get Corey Davis, and the killer was getting the kid Keelan Cole from Jaguars, man. They're loaded, bro. They're wide receivers now. All of a sudden, you're looking at that offense. They got a lot of diversity. They got big boys. They're all big boys. Jameson Crowder's the small guy. He's the slot. And you got the other guys and they all could play the outside. They all could move. They could all burn down. They can do everything, and they all go over the middle. All of them go over the middle, and they all block. They're all big blockers.
That's right, and that makes it better for Darnold.
Blockers. So I love what he did in the wide receiver position. Imagine Max having Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, or even how about Hunter Henry in free agency, because he was a free agent target.
Yep, I agree.
Because look at all these great teams out there. You got George Kittle and even Travis Kelce. You got to have a great tight end. The Jets, I wouldn't count Chris Herndon and Ryan Griffin as great tight ends. Griffin looked like he was going to be something, and last year you saw him plummet down.
You know what? I don't put a lot of faith into that offense, because Gase is just. I really think Gase just lost it.
Yeah,
I'm not kidding you. I think
I agree.
I think that he reads all the papers. I think he was overwhelmed. I think he's a freak of a personality. I think he's just a misfit. He's an actual misfit. He's not a bad guy. I met the guy, but he's a misfit when it comes to dealing with the overall persona of being a head coach. He just can't do it. And he may wind up being a good coordinator again, when there's no pressure. And he's like this scientist in the lab. But I think because of him being that overall being in the locker room, I think he fucking lost it, man.
I do too.
mean, I think he lost it. He screwed Sam up. I don't put any faith in his offense, and I'm not going to blame these guys because you could see that they were confused. They didn't know what the hell was going on, and they can't say nothing. Guys ain't going to say nothing because you can't be talking, outside the locker room. You can't do it. You get a bad reputation. You do that,
Yeah.
So we're going to see. I mean, listen, I'm blown away that they're taking this
Zach
kid.
Wilson.
And I would have, listen, even if you didn't get Kyle Pitts, I would have traded that 2 pick and loaded up. Load up. You're not there. You're not ready. You're not ready. You're far from ready. You should be loading up. Get a couple more first rounders, a second rounder, a third rounder.
Yep.
You seen what they gave? They gave him a 3 and they gave him 2 1s. It's
exactly right.
I just think I don't know. I hope listen, I was wrong with the other guys. So what the hell do I know? Joe Douglas, Boomer seems to think Joe Douglas loves this kid. I don't see it.
If they were to take, it's looking like they're going to take Zach Wilson. Is there any other quarterbacks that interested you in the draft? I mean, you have Justin Fields and this other kid, Trey Lance. Or you're all in for Darnold?
To me, Darnold showed you. I love when they were showing. Who had a good? Damon Woody is killing the Jet fans.
I saw that on his Twitter. Yeah,
he's killing them, and he's right. And the other guy, what's his face? Louis Riddick.
Oh yes, when Zach Wilson made that throw in the pro day that Sam did in the game.
Did you see it? Did you see he tweeted that out?
Yep.
And Louis Riddick is a very sharp guy.
Yep.
Very sharp guy. I'm surprised he's not a GM. He's got an interview and he hasn't gotten anything, which is surprising.
Yeah.
But Louis Riddick, listen, all you hear constantly, how many GMs have said Sam Darnold's a good quarterback, man? You hear all that. You still got Dan Oleski and swears by him.
Yep.
He still says Sam is a really good quarterback.
Yep.
I just don't get it. I mean, Jordan Palmer said it, but he constantly says it. And he's dealing with the kid up in Buffalo, their best friends, Josh Allen.
Yep.
And you talk to Palmer when he talks, he tells you that Darnold's better than Josh Allen. They haven't given him anything.
No, I agree with that. I think the reason why Jet fans want to move on is because it's his 3rd year. Now he's going into a new system, new coach. And now if this doesn't work out, and he, like you said, he may be destroyed because of Gaze, but he may not be. The thing is, I think fans are they're fed up because now we've seen 3 years of Sam and no production on his part, which may not be his fault. And I don't think it is. It's mostly Gaze and the coaches that have been in here. They haven't given him the weapons. So now we're just basically saying to ourselves, we need to move on. And I think that's why everyone's jumping on the Zach Wilson bandwagon.
I know. I just get a kick out of that. They can give up on this kid. And at the same token, they're saying it's not his fault. Mm-hmm. So what is it? Which one is it? If it's not his fault, why wouldn't you look to the future and load up with that 2 pick and load up for the future? And what you do with Sam is you give him every opportunity to prove you're wrong this year. All right. And you still are not locked into anything. You're still not locked in anything.
No.
I find it amazing that I just never heard anything with Zach Wilson. All of a sudden, we're hearing Zach Wilson. We didn't hear anything with Zach Wilson during the season. They never talked about him.
Nope.
He was never talked about. I'm not
No.
talking about the Jets. I'm talking about overall.
Oh yeah, it
Nobody
was
talked about
basically
him.
just Lawrence and Fields.
Yes, that's who it was.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, Zach Wilson's the guy. I mean, it's just, it scares me. It actually scares me because I don't like his size. He's not a big boy. He's 6'2". All right. They're saying he's 6'3". He's not. He's not a big boy. Sam's a big boy. Sam's a big boy. You know, my only question that I have is I wonder, and this is when we don't know. This is what I'm talking about when we don't know enough, okay?
Yeah.
When you're not in that locker room, when you're not in the halls of Forum Park, okay? I just wonder if that injury to Sam with his shoulder this year, and he came back later.
Yeah, in the Bronco game.
I wonder if that shoulder is not right, and that's why they're moving on. That's in my head. I'm thinking. I understand Douglas didn't draft him. I understand Salah's new. So that's usually what happens. If it's not your guy, then they want to make it their guy. You know what I mean? So, but I question, well, LaFleur's offense and that whole Shanahan demeanor in the offense, Sam is a perfect fit for that.
Yeah.
Sam's a perfect, he moves. He moves. He can do everything. And I just question, I say, I don't understand they're not locked into him with a contract.
Nope.
You know, if he had a good year, they could probably get him. They probably could give him, somebody said this and I loved it. Said, give him a 3-year contract. Give him a 3-year contract. Don't sign him to 5 years. Sign him to 3 and give him good money, but you can get out of it. You know,
good.
And and all I'm thinking is all the other draft choices we could have with that 2 pick. Now we're going to take this kid, and now, okay, we still have a lot of draft, capital from Jamal Adams. That's a whole nother story.
Yeah, and then I'm glad he's off the team after he basically talked his way out of here.
Amazing, there's a team guy, and he turns around, and I just would like, and I think we're all hoping that Russell Wilson moves on, because that'd be some kick in the ass.
Yeah, it would be.
Man, that'd be tough. That would be justice.
It would be.
That'd be poetic justice right there, brother.
It would be. And if Adam Gase signed to the team too, because there were rumors of that in the beginning a few months ago, and that would be really poetic justice if they had Gase and Wilson was out of there. But something that may bother you is that if they do draft Zach Wilson, we mentioned Darnold with the shoulder injury. Zach Wilson has had a lot of shoulder problems in college. He had shoulder surgery at his time at BYU.
I hate that. When I hear that, I hate that. But you know what? Listen, Joe Douglas, you listen, here's what you have to do. As a fan, you have to believe in something. If you don't believe in your GM, then you have nothing.
Yeah.
Because you already don't believe in your ownership.
No, not at all.
All right. Because they've done so many, like, once again, I said to you, they do want to win. I know that they want to win. It's not like this is just a play toy. I do believe they really do want to spend money, and they do. And, they give you the resources. You go out to Forum Park, it's gorgeous.
Yeah. How do you feel about in the press conferences? And I know they didn't say it in the new press conference, but when Adam Gase was brought in here, Christopher Johnson said that there would be no mandate to make the playoffs. That just gets under my skin. This is the NFL. I want to make the playoffs.
Look at Mara. Mara just had that. Ian O'Connor just had that was a schmooze fest.
Yeah.
That's another joke. I can't stand that Mara.
Yeah.
And Ian O'Connor's that's a schmooze fest. But he wouldn't put a mandate on playoffs. Yeah. But they didn't make a big deal over that. But the Jets, they fucking stomp on you.
Yeah.
Listen, we're a stepchild. That's what we are. And
I don't like that we don't have our own stadium. That's always going to bother me. And
listen, you're talking to the right guy. You're a young guy, but a long time ago, I tried to get that West Side Stadium. All right, and I battled with my fire department union over that. A long time ago, I did that in the West Side Stadium. I'm going to say that was I don't know, 04, 05. somewhere around there. When we tried to get it, I did commercial. I did commercial everything. Jets asked me to do a commercial. I did a t-shirt. I put the fire department t-shirt on. That was my mistake. I shouldn't have did that. I should have. I was the union rep too. Yeah. I should have. I never backed down from the commercial. I never backed down. I meant what I did, but I should have worn my Jet jersey and my fire helmet, the Jet helmet.
Yeah.
Not represent, because they were right when they said you can't represent everybody. Everybody doesn't think that way in the fire department. Yeah. So I got it. I mean, I apologized actually at the union meeting because they were trying to fucking lynch me with a couple hundred guys, but that didn't happen. No. And but I wanted the West Side Stadium. I thought it would have been great for New York. And looking back on it years later, it absolutely would have been. But Dolan was behind that in the Garden. He was in Sheldon Silver's pocket because they had a 3-man board back then. And Silver's in jail for it. It's one of the reasons he's in jail. Yeah. He's in jail. They actually paid him off to knock that stadium. Crazy. And all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. I mean, I was part of that. That was when Jay Cross was here, and it was what's his face from Bayside, great guy, Matt Higgins. Matt was him and Jay Cross. They were president and vice president, and Matty's a great guy, best. He's down in the Dolphins with what's his face. The owner's a big real estate guy. Yeah,
I know
big real estate. He did the West Side, where the stadium was
supposed to be.
He did the what do they call it? What's that called over there?
Oh,
it's where Gary V.
I know what you're talking about.
It's the West Side. It's called something. Can't think of it. It's called something. Yeah. Anyway. That was all. I went through a lot of stuff with that. I wanted to get our own stadium, bro. I never wanted to be with the Giants.
Yeah, I don't like it either. Because I've even talked to Ira from Staten Island. He's been on my show a few times, and he said that they try really hard putting on the green lights, and when you come out of MetLife, you see the Giants training facility right there.
Yep. You got to win, bro. That's the bottom line.
It is.
They have a clause. They have a clause in 2025. To get out of there, I don't know if they'll exercise it. If they do, they'd have to do it in the next couple of years.
Yeah, I hope they do.
I just think the NFL doesn't want any part of that. I think the NFL wants the Jets and Giants together.
Yeah, and it's not that way with the Knicks or the Nets. I think it could be that way it's not that way with the Mets or the Yankees either. So why can't we do it with the Jets and the Giants?
Listen, I've fought, bro. I fought this fight. I'm 60. I'm 40 years older than you, bro.
Yeah.
I'm 61, and I've been fighting this battle for years. I got myself, like I just told you. I mean, listen. The one thing they can never say about me is I never was on the fence, bro. I always said what I felt, and I'm the first guy. Just remember, a man is a guy that admits when he's wrong. If you can't admit when you're wrong, you're going to, the sun was in my eyes, there's a rock in the way. That's why there's all participation trophies. Everybody gets a no.
Oh, yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that with the trophy. Everyone getting a trophy.
You lost. Yep. You try harder. Yep. That's what should happen. There's first place and then everybody else. That's the way it is. And that's one of the ruinations of what's going on in society. But I ain't getting into all of that.
Yeah.
But the whole point is, you got to admit when you're wrong. And there shouldn't be any excuses. Admit it and move on, because people are very forgiving. This life, people love when someone admits that they're wrong. They accept that.
Yeah.
But they persecute you when you bullshit and you lie and you say it was somebody else and this and that. You never own up to it. Nobody likes that. You don't like that with your friends when you're hanging out with them. You can't. You're hanging out. You just say you did it. Move on. It's the truth, right?
Yeah, you're exactly right. And the way the fans are giving up on Darnold, Isn't it kind of similar the way that they're giving up on Mark Sanchez? Do you feel as though that the fans gave up way too early on Sanchez?
No, I think the organization destroyed Sanchez. Tannenbaum, what he did, Mike got too cute. Mike was one of our better GMs, but him and Rex got too cute. When Tebow beat us in Denver that year, all right, they went out and got Tebow because they've seen a vision, all right, rather than what they should have done is surrounded Mark with more talent. They were taking it away, okay? And if you remember, that was his third year.
That's right.
His third year. They were 8-6, all right? It's the fourth year after that season. I'm gonna give you the timeline. They were 8-6. San Antonio Holmes blew up the locker room. We didn't know about it, but what's his face? The guard, I loved him. Moore. What's his name? Moore. His name is Moore. He was a guard for us. Oh fuck! He punched him in the face. Punched him right in the face. Nailed him right in the locker room. Told him shut the fuck up. But it never came out until after the season. So Holmes, if you remember, in the Miami game, we were 8-7, and that was the year the Giants beat us at the end of the year.
Oh, with Victor Cruz running 100 yards.
Yeah, go to Super Bowl. Yep. That was right where I was. Fucking nightmare that was. Christmas Eve, and the following off season, rather than them build around this kid who got you to 2 AFC championship games, had you on the right track to get in the playoffs a third year.
Yep.
Everybody forgets that.
They do. He doesn't get enough credit.
We lost 3 in a row, bro. We should have built around that kid. That kid won 4 playoff games on the road. I was at every fucking game. I was with his brothers in Indianapolis with Brandon and Nick. We were partying. You ever been to Indianapolis?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you got to go to Indianapolis. Indianapolis is a great city. Great city. You don't need a car. You go in there, all the bars, everything's right there. It's a great spot. And the Midwest, the people are awesome. They're phenomenal. So anyway, there's a place called Ike's and Jonesy's in the place. It's one of the big places. So when we won, we kicked the field goal to take them to, we're going to play New England the following week.
That's right.
So I didn't drink all day. I didn't have one drink. I was in a nervous wreck, whatever. So the game didn't end until about midnight, if you remember it. Okay. We went out partying. We were at Champs. I was with Gary V. It was we had a ball, right? So it was crazy. Jeff fans, there was thousands of us.
Of course.
So anyway, we go to Ike's and Jonesy's, and who's in there but Sanchez's 2 brothers. So Brandon and Nick. And this is how cool the guy was. The owner of Ike's and Jones, big Cult fan, huge Cult fan. So I had taken pictures with him, through the years and stuff. Comes over, he says, Eddie, Fireman, who you with? I tell him, he says, pick the people you want to be with, just let me know the amount of guys that you got and stuff. Because I'm going to shut it down. Bars, I'm leaving the bartender. The place is yours.
Wow.
For the night. we were there till 5:30 in the morning, bro. It was fucking unbelievable. We had a ball with Sanchez brothers. We had such a ball. I loved Mark. Loved his family. Loved everything about him. His father's a captain was a captain in the LA County Fire Department.
Wow.
So we had something in common.
Yeah.
Great time, but like you said, Sanchez was. I thought we could have won a world championship with Mark, and they really screwed him that last year when they brought Tebow in.
It messed with his head. It messed with his head and his confidence.
Fucked them all up, and Rex, they got too cocky, man, and Rex got cocky, and it fell apart. It really, we had a shot there, man, for a while, and then there again, kid, was where we needed home field. That year we went 11-5 or 12-4, and Brady went 14-2. Okay, we had to go on the road every year. Every fucking year, we were on the road with this guy. Every year.
Exactly right.
I mean, it was crazy. I always said we didn't win a world championship. There's two words why we didn't win a world championship in 09 and 10. Tom Brady. Tom Brady. And we beat him along the way. Okay.
The divisional round.
Beat him. We beat him. But if we were home for the playoffs, nobody would have came into the house and beat us. It wasn't going to happen. I'm just telling you, it would not have happened. We would have been world champions. We would have been world champions. When I tell you, kid, you're 21 years old. When I tell you, I told this to Woody Johnson and Chris Johnson. Listen what I told them. I said, you don't understand, brother. You don't. I'm around. This is 5 decades for me, man. I'm doing this Jet Chant. I started in 86, the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, 2010s, 2000. I'm into the 2020s. 5 decades, bro. 5 decades. I've met a lot of different people. I know there's people that hate me, but there ain't a lot of them. There ain't a lot of them. They're full of shit. Okay. If they knew me, they wouldn't talk like that. Believe me. If they knew me, they wouldn't talk like that. Right? It's just hearsay, bullshit. This, he did this, he quit. They don't know. They don't know the deal.
No,
they
don't.
No idea. They have no idea. But it's okay. I don't really care. But I told Woody Johnson and Chris Johnson, I said, listen to me. When the Giants won the Super Bowl, okay, in 07 and 11, they estimated in the Canyon Heroes, there was 2 million fans there at each Super Bowl parade. I said to them, when the Jets win it, there's going to be 5 million fans there. I said, because you know why? They're fucking hiding in the weeds. They're hiding in the weeds. They have the jerseys, but they don't want to wear them. I said, they're all over the place. They're everywhere. You just don't know it because we never win. I'm telling you, that's going to happen. It's going to happen. We need home field throughout the playoffs. That's what we need. This is why I'm hanging around. I keep hanging around. I'm trying to keep training. I'm trying to stay young. I fucking don't want to give it up because, all right, when I left, well, I didn't leave. I was at the games. I just didn't do it. It was because of these stupid phones, these idiot phones. Yes, Dan, listen, I was around before the phones, bro, well before. I'm an older guy. Yeah. Guys, these guys, all they do is, you know what they do?
They stick the phone in your face. They record everything.
They film you and they fucking throw ketchup on you, mustard on you, beer on you, spit on you. Okay? Listen to me. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of stuff happened through the years. You think that, do you really think, like when they said I quit, do you really, I mean, just use your brain. How many fucking years was I there? We sucked. We were horrible.
The Kotite era.
I just decided, all right, that's it. I had enough. I'm done with them. This is what they portrayed. I'm going, what? That's not what happened. That's not what happened at all.
No.
I had confrontations that were affecting my family. That's what happened. Okay. And I said, I'm not going to do that to them. My kids were younger at the time. I needed to step out of the limelight for a little because of these, only because of the fucking phones. That's the only reason. And then, you know, as the years have gone on and they've asked me to come back and now, you know, I got pretty, you know, I do all right for myself, you know, in my life. And I just decided, I said, if I'm going to come back there, I'm going to get myself fucking club seats. And I pay for my fucking club seats. That's what I do.
They should give them to you for free for what
no,
you did
I don't.
for the
you
team.
know what? I always said to the fan, that's the other thing. The fans always think, oh, he gets this, he gets that. I never took anything from the Jets. Never took any fucking thing from them. I've always paid for everything. Never happened. Remember, if you're a fan, you don't fucking get things because then they tell you what you're doing. You can't have that.
Yeah,
you're
right.
You're a fan. If you're a fan, then you're a fan.
Yep.
If they start giving you stuff, you're not a fan anymore. Now, don't get me wrong. Do I have privy where they invite me to, you know, a function or this or that? Of course. I mean, that happens.
Of course.
Anything that I've Will I take a commercial from a company? Fucking hell yeah, I'll take a commercial from a company. You go, baby, you fucking damn right I'm gonna take it. But I won't take it from the Jets. You want it, I've done Pepsi commercial, Bud commercials. I've done a lot of commercials through the years. That I'll do, but anything that, like when Modell's did t-shirts, you probably too young. In 98, I gave all that money to the fire department. I didn't take any of that money. Gave that all to the Widows and Children's Fund.
Wow.
So the kids started college educations. Me and my brother, Frankie, did that. So whatever. I don't need to get into all that shit.
That's amazing. I can't believe that the Jet fans treat you that way, where they just start filming you because you've done so much, and you're part of you're the biggest fan out of that fan base.
You know what it is, Max? We talk about the negatives, but man, listen to me. 98% of the people, fucking great people, man. Listen to me. I know that the fans, and I'm humbled. I know the fans. I know that most of the fans love me. I know they do. I know there's guys out there that don't like me for this or that, but I know that it's not as many as they think it is because of social media. It looks like, oh, fuck him, fuck this, fuck that. You know what, man? You're never going to please everybody. You got to understand.
Well said.
All I say to the fans is this. What do I do that could make you not like me? All I'm trying to do is rock the house and have home field for the fan base. I said, and I need everybody's help. I've been trying to do this for years, and we've had a lot of fun. I've met a lot of great people. There's so many passionate Jet fans. They fucking love this team, and they keep me alive. Guys like you that are 21 years old. You guys are the guys that fire me up. You're the guys that keep me when I say to myself, maybe I'm just too old and I gotta fucking move on, Hey guys, I still have that energy. I still have that passion. I still train hard. I've been very lucky in my life. I'm staying relatively healthy, and I try to listen. I want to win it. I want to win this thing. Just like you, I want to win this thing. And what will beat my fucking ass is all the years that I've been doing this thing. And all of a sudden I'm going to give it up and we're going to win the fucking thing. I'm going to be a fucking, listen, I'll trade it to give it up. I would trade it. If they told me, listen, if you give it up, we're going to win a world championship, then I'd do it. Then I'd absolutely do it, because it ain't about me. It's about the Jets and the fan base. But that's the way I feel. I feel like I still have the passion. I still love it. I see the young guys when I talk to them, when I'm in the tailgates, I get such a kick. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go. So I haven't lost that. Not yet.
No. And that's great. That's great.
My friends said they're gonna wheel me out. They'll be wheel me out in a wheelchair.
You'll be the 100-year-old Cubs fan that won the World Series a few years ago.
That's it, man. So, well, hopefully we don't have to wait that long.
No,
I hope it ain't gonna be that long. I think we got two. We'll see about the coach. He looks like we know he has passion. We know that. We'll see if he can coach a full team. And I do like Joe Douglas. I do like Joe. I think Joe will prove us right. I hope I'm wrong with this Wilson. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not convinced fucking they're going with Wilson. There's a part of me saying they're fucking playing possum. There's something telling me, like, I don't know. I guess I'm going to be wrong, but there's something telling me, first off, why do you got to trade that right now? You ain't got to trade it.
But people think the reason why the Jets are keeping the second pick is because they think that the Niners may have made a run at the second pick, and the Jets were just saying, I'm staying put.
I think the Jets are staying put, but I do agree what they may have said to the Niners, we're staying put. But that doesn't mean that we're staying put and we're taking somebody. Maybe we're staying put until the last day. I mean, remember that ransom goes up a lot higher as it gets closer. You get more people that are more desperate. You got to understand. Do you think that the teams are not going to call the Jets, even though they may think they're going to take Zach Wilson? Maybe they give enough where they go, fuck this, we got to take this. You know what I mean? I mean, to me, they're in a outstanding position, more so than I've ever seen, honestly, because they could turn around and go, boom, we're going to take this. And, I mean, look what Miami got. What Miami got. I mean, they got a third and fucking 2 1s.
They did.
And we're at a 2 pick. And as it gets closer, that ransom goes higher. That ransom goes higher, bro. Goes higher. We'll see.
I hope they get Pitts. If they don't go Wilson, they got to go Pitts.
Listen, I would love them to be in a position to take Pitts at some point. I mean, honestly, I would take Pitts. If you were going to go with Sam, that would be the perfect guy.
I agree.
Man, you are loaded up. You are goddamn loaded. All of a sudden, you're loaded.
What would you do with the 23rd pick?
You got to go to best available, but I would think that they would take either depends who's there, man.
I'm thinking a running back, Najee Harris.
They could, but it would be. I would think that it would be one of the offensive linemen.
Mm-hmm.
I would think that they'll take offensive line. That's what I would think.
They need some corners in the worst way.
Or a corner.
I'm surprised they didn't address that in free agency. That bothered me that they didn't grab a corner.
Well, it's not over. It's not over yet. And I know they're high on the kid Hall. I know they like Hall. And I wouldn't be surprised if they sign Brian Poole back. That wouldn't surprise me.
How about Richard Sherman because of the San Francisco connection with the new coach?
I think Sherman's done.
Yeah.
I think he's shot.
Yeah.
I don't like old corners, bro.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't like old corners. I like young, fresh blood. I would not.
Did it piss you off when the Jets got rid of Revis and he won a Super Bowl with the Patriots? I'm assuming it did, but that just goes to show you that they don't.
No, it didn't piss me off because Revis was a cocksucker from the moment he came to the Jets. Revis was all about money from the moment he got to the Jets. From the moment he got there. If go look back, he was his uncle was in his ear from day one. Kevin Gilbert was in his ear Sean Gilbert was in his ear from day one, and it was all about the money. Revis was all about the money, and great player.
Yeah, of course.
Great player, but
no doubt about it.
And they gave him. Listen, they offered him a lot of money. And he went to New England. I'm sorry. I go to guys Hall of Fame inductions. You won't see me there. I never go there. Wow. I never go there. No, I wouldn't go to that one. No, I won't go to that one because when he went to the Patriots.
Yeah, you're tainted now. You were at our enemy. You were with our enemy, and you won with them.
I just, he was all about the money, man. He was all about the money even after he came back. He was all about the money. All about the money.
And he kept getting burned by Sammy Watkins in that Buffalo game too.
He wasn't the same. He was nowhere near. He was nowhere near. He was great when he was with Rex.
Yep.
When he was with Rex, you talk about the shutdown corner. That was the shutdown corner.
Revis Island.
No question about it. I mean, you can't argue anything with that.
No.
Listen, I give him what we went to those championship games was outright. Revis was a huge part of that. So I don't take anything. That has nothing to do with taking away from anything. I just don't like what he did from the start. Everything was an issue. But he was a great player, man. He brought it every week. He always brought it. I just can't. When he went to New England, I just couldn't handle that one. I'm never over that. I never got over that one.
I can see it too. And I agree. I think he's tainted. Once you're over there and you're winning a ring and then you come back, it's difficult to root for you again.
Yeah, I mean, he won a world championship with Brady. He was with New England. Get the fuck out of here. That to me.
Now you're a true fan because a lot of the Jet fans embraced him back.
Well, the Jet fan, you got to understand something. There's Jet fans and then there's Jet fans.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there's Jet fans that are knowledgeable, loyal Jet fans, and then you got that same guy won't be there when you're not winning. They're full of shit. They ain't there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're good.
Yeah. They're not there when it, listen, we have a good, in that stadium, we have a good 50,000 that are diehards. The other 30, no. Nope. I know it firsthand.
Oh, I know you do.
I know it firsthand. They're more worried about their phone and the girl with the big tits. They don't care. They're not concerned about, the game going on. I mean, it's everything but the game, it is what it is. But I mean, listen, we have great fans.
I agree.
But they're not all at the games.
That's right.
There's great fans. And for whatever reason, a lot of them can't afford it. I mean, they don't make it easy. They don't make it easy for you. So I fully get that part of it. I fully get that part of it. So, but when you win, you'll see how it, they'll come. They'll be there. Yep. You'll see all the people show up when they're winning. No, there's no question about it.
Especially the bandwagon fans. They'll be all over the place. You'll see Jet jerseys everywhere.
Yep. But I know listen, I've always known through the years who the guys are. When we go to the promised land, you'll see. I'll have a bus all over the place. We'll be going all over. I know the bars and everywhere that have stuck with us all through the years. I know where they all are. I know where it all is. I know where they are. So I can't wait for that day.
It's going to feel great to win because it's been so long.
I'm telling you, if we could get home field, Max, nobody come in and beat us. It wouldn't happen. I'm telling you, it would not happen. That stadium is insanity. Jet fans are great fans. They're the best fans in the world. I'm telling you, they're the best fans in the country. It's just what the Jets have done between PSLs and just the whole atmosphere. They've made it hard for the fan to go to the game. And it's a shame because I know there's a lot of fans out there that would love to be at the game and would be diehards, but you got a lot of bougies, you got the bougies that come in. Way it is, man. They don't give a shit. I see them every week. But you got 50,000 that
are decent.
Oh no, they're the
best.
They're the best diehards. They love that team. They stick with them through thick and thin. Think about this last decade. What a disgrace! It's a disgrace. Reminds me of then
we had Hackenberg.
Reminds me of the late '80s and into the '90s. Till we got Parcells. We had a stretch there where it was brutal, really brutal. And this one is as bad. This one's as bad. So I'm hoping we're over the hump. But I'm glad to see that you're a Jet fan at 21. How did you become a Jet fan?
I basically was asked by my parents, who's your team? And I said, oh, it's the New York Jets. And they said, you're setting because my whole family is either Giant or Cowboy fans. I'm the only Jet fan in my family.
Wow.
And they told me, I picked them because they were green. And my family said, well, you're setting yourself up for a lifetime of disappointment. And even my family to this day, couldn't you have picked the Packers if you liked green?
Where you grow up?
I grew up in Connecticut.
Oh, Connecticut. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's Giant country or Patriots.
Giants
were there before them, so that's what happened. Giants used to play up there.
Trust me, I was tortured in high school as a Jet fan.
I can't stand the Giants. I can't stand them. My family knows when I die what I want, so they know. Oh yeah, fuck them.
Yeah,
I've dealt with the Giant fans for years, man. For years, I've dealt with them. Yeah,
they're feisty, and then you hear the stories.
They're no fans like we are.
No,
you never compare a Giant fan with a Jet fan. That's
not at all.
we know how to rock the house. We just don't get a chance to do it enough.
No,
But
and
hopefully our day's coming. Hopefully.
Oh, hopefully. And you even heard the stories. I remember an interesting story I wanted to bring up during our interview was the one with Chad Ochocinco Johnson, where he was bragging, saying that he was going to be imitating you if he scored the touchdown.
Yep.
Against the Jets.
Chad's a great guy. I got to know Chad. He invited me out to Cincinnati. Mm-hmm. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't. He wanted to pay for me to go out there for the playoff game. And I said, I can't do that, bro. I said, if Jet asked me, I couldn't do it for an opposing team.
No.
So he appreciated that. I was on Showtime with him. That was inside the NFL back then. So I was on with him and Phil Simms, and I think Collinsworth was there at the time, and Warren Sapp. So it was good. I mean, I can't even remember half the stuff I did, man, but I had so much fun. Listen, the best. The best. I had some ride, me and my brother. We've had some ride.
You have.
And I love them. I love them. Love the Jets. I'll never stop loving them.
No, and that's important.
We could see it. So,
I want to thank you for coming on the show, Fireman Ed. It was an honor, and thank you for your service.
Game, man, you got my number, bro. So when you're at a game, come tailgate, bro. We'll have a couple cocktails. I'll introduce you to the Irish Mist. Because all the guys, whoever comes to my tailgate, you gotta have Irish Mist. I've been drinking Irish Mist since that day.
Wow.
That was 1975.
Wow.
Been drinking Irish Mist every game. Every game. It used to be a genie bottle. That's how you would know it was Irish Mist. And the idiots, they changed the bottle. Idiots. I still have the genie bottles. I pour it in. I poured it all, and I pour it in the genie bottle. Mm-hmm. And it's a great taste. It's fantastic, and it's a tradition for me. Mm-hmm. So, for me and my brother. So,
and thank you for your service in the fire department in New York too.
Appreciate it. We lost a lot of guys. A lot of my good friends we lost, but they're gone. But they're not forgotten. They're if they had to do it over again, they fucking do it again. So I know that. So my only regret with the New York City Fire Department is I wish I could do it again.
Yeah.
You get too old, bro. You
get
too old. You can't be an old guy in a ghetto. It don't work. It doesn't pan out. You got to be young blood, bro.
Yeah.
It's all about the young blood.
Yeah.
That's what you guys keep me going.
Yeah, that's right. So
hopefully we'll get together, brother, one of these days. But it was a pleasure, real pleasure, and I thank you for being a Jet fan.
Yes, thank you, Fireman Ed.
And I have a place in my heart for St. John's University. I always have. Me and my brother had season tickets years ago when it was Walter Berry and all that crew.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We used to, there's a place called Millard Fillmore's in Flushing. It's still there. Mm-hmm. On 166 and 65th Avenue. We used to take the jet bus out of there.
Wow.
It's there. And we used to all had season tickets for St. John's. With Louis, the legend.
Yep. He was on my show a couple weeks ago. He's a legend.
Oh, he's a legend. That's great. But I'm glad. All the best to you, man.
Thank you. Definitely. I really appreciate you coming on the show.
I hope it works out. I hope the show, you get good ratings or whatever it is. I hope it works out for you.
Yeah. I'm working towards that goal. And listen, you're always welcome on my show. Anytime
you call, I'll deliver.
I appreciate it, Fireman Ed. I want you to take care, stay safe, and go Jets.
Go Jets, baby.
That's right.
Jets. Jets. All right, brother.
All right. Be well.
Talk to you. Bye-bye.
Yep.